you've just recently won the New Zealand Music Award. So congrats, first off. How did that feel getting selected for that and getting up to play?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yes, it's pretty crazy. It was a pretty mental week for us. We've won a couple before, so it was buzzy first of all to kind of get 3 from 3 for all of our awards, but then to be invited to play was pretty amazing. We had an interesting week because our bass player decided to destroy his hand, which meant that we had to get resourceful and kind of sort out something pretty quickly in that space.
And, yeah, I noticed the footage on YouTube. So nice to see people allowing you to use foul language on TV. I quite like that.
Somehow
we got that across the line.
Yeah, it was an interesting. I think it was one of the first times that they've had, I think, quite that number of curse words. I think we played at about 9 o'clock, and so getting to say, can we say fuck, Andrew? Is that okay?
Say fuck as much as you want.
Oh, fuck, Andrew, that's fucking great. I'm so fucking excited to say fuck a whole lot of times. So many times it just loses its meaning entirely. No,
exactly.
So we were stoked. Because that's how the song goes. And so we, it's the biggest song on the album, and we had to, push quite hard to be allowed to play it because they were, the programmers and producers was a little bit antsy about it. And there are a couple of people writing in, being like, you can't say that on TV. There might be kids watching. And to those people, they can get fucked.
We're almost in 2020. Fuck is an acceptable word.
Exactly. It was a great night. We managed to win, which is always a nice thing, and the performance was a great time, and it's cool to play an award ceremony with which is obviously mainstream, and not only be able to play a song like that, but actually be a rock band in that kind of space as well. So we were stoked.
Well, I like. As a photographer as well as guy running a website, watching the video, I was like, hey, why can't Australia actually present their rock bands on TV like a real rock show? Like,
why can't Australia do that?
That's a really good question.
We would have to nominate a heavy band first. Like, come on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, hey, Aussie's got some pretty killer heavy bands, so you're definitely not lacking in that space.
No, we're lacking in open-mindedness.
Yeah. Well, I won't comment any further on that.
Yeah. Let's not set up like an Anzac War here.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of the things that we wanted when we actually played the music awards and the videos on YouTube was to actually try and get the feel of one of our live shows across, because we like to use stupid things like confetti. We had massive beach balls planned, but we were told at the last minute that we weren't allowed to use those because those massive balls would go out into the crowd, and it's an entirely it's a seated event with wine glasses and wine and those kind of things all over the table, and a lot of people wearing very expensive outfits, and apparently massive, 2-meter beach balls was going to be a health and safety risk. So we had to settle for confetti and balloons.
Close enough.
Got the job done.
Exactly. As you said, you've had that little bit of a bass player mishap leading up, not just to the awards, but to the tour. And how is recovery going? And will James be right to tour?
Yeah, he's committed. He's coming. He's spending 4 hours a day trying to stretch his stupid finger out. So I think we're good. It was just a comedy of errors at the weirdest possible time. But we've had things happen like this before, and you just got to fucking pick yourself up and keep moving.
Exactly. And look, you've had the new album out for a couple of months now. How have you found the response around the world to it?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, we spent the better part of 2 years making this record, and we really want to make the best album we possibly could, and we wrote over 100 songs for it, and released it in New Zealand and managed to get a number 2 behind that old ginger guy, Ed Sheeran, which isn't a bad showing, and sold out our entire tour, which was wicked. So it's going to be great to bring it to Australia and, show it off to audiences over there.
And beyond opening for Halestorm, do you foresee a headline tour or a co-headline tour in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's the kind of thing that we've absolutely been working through, and it's just a matter of getting the right time, right band, all of those kind of things. Because we're stoked to be coming over with Halestorm next month, and we'll just basically kind of go from there in terms of kind of and potentially inviting some great Aussie bands back. We'll take them around, show them a good time, and then we'll hopefully be getting back after this Halestorm tour in the not too distant future as well. We do enjoy playing in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really cool about a tour like this is we get to play some big rooms like the Forum and Enmore, and Halestorm are an incredible live band, and it's just going to be real honour actually to be out with them and doing these gigs.
But
awesome.
If you are looking, when you're looking to come back, I'll just throw it out there. I do like another New Zealand band by the name of Like a Storm, who are due to come back.
Yeah, we've known those boys for years actually. Like back before they went and tried to take over America and Canada and all the rest of it. They're Auckland locals, and I think we might have even played a show with them 10 years ago or something stupid. Before all of that,
the very first time me and you played live together, Neil, Matt Brooks from Like a Storm's band was playing as well. That's a fun fact. Yeah.
Madness.
There you go. And I read that you also did a little stint opening some shows for AC/DC. How'd that feel?
Oh man, those AC/DC shows were insane. That was playing to 40,000, 50,000 people at these stadiums. That was such a massive honour. Obviously, AC/DC are quite a good band, and just the scale of that production was insane. And the size of the stages and those kind of things. It was rad. It was just and it was kind of that one of the things that kind of gave us that that next level up, because as soon as you're playing to 40,000 people and playing all your songs in front of there, it's very hard not to get new people on board the old Villainy train. It was so good.
And speaking of touring, so you've always got that dilemma between the two different kinds of sets, the opening to the headline set. So when you're sitting down to work out your set list for this tour, what do you want to come across to the audience the most?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely talked about this a bit, and I guess we haven't we haven't played any shows in Australia for I think 3 or so years, so it's almost like a reintroduction for us. So we want to play a lot of the new record, obviously, and just some of the bangers from the old albums that just really hit hard live, and most of all, we want people to come along and have a good time, and that means playing songs that can let them dance and mosh and whatever they want to do to have a fucking stonking rock time.
Awesome, and you've done some recording in Australia for this last album, especially. What are your favourite places out here? Do you have any
every single record? Actually, we've recorded the majority of every single record in a Melbourne suburb called Brunswick. So we've spent weeks or probably months on end hanging out in Brunswick, eating a lot of Lebanese food, which is incredible in the end of Melbourne. Living inside each other's shoes. That's kind of in every record that's been our life.
Awesome. And does the band have any pre-show rituals?
Well, that's a good question. Not specifically. I think the main thing is that we just get each other very, I don't know what the right word is, racked up in terms of just gently kind of having a little hug, having a little push, a little just a whole lot of excitement in terms of it. Because the whole thing about playing live is that playing live is one of the most rad things you can possibly ever do. And so for us, it's just a matter of trying to take that time to actually really appreciate how special it is. And also, the relationship with the audience has always been one of the keys to our band. because as soon as someone has paid money to what you play, you owe it to them to basically deliver on that promise, on that exchange. And so we just make a point of reminding ourselves how lucky we are, and they also have a couple of drinks in the process as well, and some sweet high five.
Awesome. Now, I've been asking this question to everyone I've interviewed lately. So put yourself on stage, you look out to the front row, and you see nothing but phones. How does that make you feel?
You know what? I don't really, if I imagine that and it's extreme, it would be pretty weird. But man, if someone wants to capture it and put it online and, put it up on their social media and all that shit, that means that they want to share the experience with the rest of their friends. And, while that's maybe like not the most fun for them in the moment or everyone around them, I think it's cool that people care enough to, want to put it out there into the world, and that helps us and that helps us reach into other people. So, fuck it, embrace it.
You don't really have a choice in that regard. So, yeah.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I hit a lot of bigger bands, obviously, have banned phones and done those lock pouches and all sorts of stuff, and I totally get it. But look, I mean, we want to reach as many people as possible, so if that means a couple of people filming, or taking photos or live streaming or whatever it is, cool, that helps do that.
No, I had this conversation 2 weeks ago with another band, and they said, I'd love if they could ban it in the first 5 rows.
Fair comment. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's where that's where the hardcore fans want to be, and that's generally speaking, they want to just enjoy the show for what it is. So yeah.
And also the sound in the front rows is never very good, and like the angles that you're shooting from, the content they're actually filming, not the best. Better shooting from 5 rows back. I'm okay with this rule of banning phones for the first 5 rows.
Yeah, see, I think we need an invisible barrier.
Maybe some sort of phone killer thing.
Now, of all the tours you've done, all the shows you've played, can you actually pinpoint one as a standout?
You go first.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think probably the biggest show of, the most impactful show we've done recently was we played at a room called the Power Station, which is like this iconic club in Auckland. It fits about 1,500 people. We played there a heap as supports, but never headlined. And this year we sold it out and played a headline show there, which was pretty crazy for us on a number of levels. It's a goal that we've always had as a band, and to play in that room and headline it, everyone under the sun has played that room at some point in their career, right? Internationals and locals. So I think, just having that under our belt is amazing, and the show itself was fucking incredible as well.
I was going to pick that one as well. What's rad about it is that we've got the music video for the current single Cut is actually all based on footage from that show, and so you get a sense of the intensity of the live shows, which is kind of cool. I was actually going to pick the Wellington AC/DC show just because it was such a surreal experience of it was pissing down, and our tech ended up having to go to Bunnings to buy a shower curtain to put on top of our pedals to kind of keep them dry, because you have to play rain or shine. AC/DC, they're an all-terrain vehicle, and so we just that whole surreal experience of playing it in the drizzle and in front of 40,000 people was surreal, amazing.
Awesome. And finishing up today, any final words for the fans ahead of the shows?
I mean, look, we're obviously really looking forward to getting back to Australia. We're going to have an amazing time out in the road with Hailstorm. If you haven't seen them before, they're amazing. You should absolutely catch them. And we can't get back. We can't wait to get back and be part of the Aussie rock scene as well. And fucking come along, get in the mosh with us.
I 100% agree with everything that Neil's just said. Yeah, we for us, it's really fun to play in Australia, just for the fact that Australian audiences kind of may have heard of us briefly if they've got a connection to New Zealand rock, but for the most part, it's actually us playing from scratch. And so, like the process of actually making a first impression again is rad. Like, it's a really fun experience to actually have to go and win an audience over and bring them along on the journey. So we're really excited about getting on that horse and riding it all the way around town.
Awesome, guys. I'll leave you with it, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks in Brisbane.
All right.
Lovely. See you there, mate.
See you soon,
Awesome, man. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
All good.